Hi everyone. It's so great to see you today, and I'm glad to be here and to share with you one of my all-time favorite stories, the Broom Master. This story is from the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So sit back, relax, maybe close your eyes, and go along this journey with me in story. Once upon a time, in a small village in the mountain, lived a boy named Chunda. He was a fun-loving, good-natured boy and had lots of friends around him all the time. And he was playful and joyful and full of life. But there was one problem, and this made him quite sad and sometimes not feeling very happy about himself, was that no matter how hard he tried, and he tried very hard, he could never learn to read or write. And so, despite being so happy all the time, he had this feeling about himself that he was not good enough. Well, on the other hand, his brother, older brother Raj, was very scholarly, and he learned to read and write with ease, and he loved to learn and learn. And as they got older, Raj really wanted to learn more, especially about Buddhism, and so he decided that he wanted to become a monk and study with the Buddhist monks at the nearby monastery. Well, Chunda, as he was lovingly called by his friends, wanted to stay with Raj, and secretly in his heart, he wanted to be a monk too. And Raj said to Chunda, "Why don't you apply to become a monk too?" But Chunda, having very little faith and confidence in his ability to learn, said, "I could never learn all of those lines and scriptures that you have to memorize, and I could never be a teacher to other people because I cannot read or write." And Raj said to him, "Buddhism is not about how much you know or how much knowledge you gain, but it's about having a compassionate heart and loving the world as it is. And you have that, so much of that, so much love to give. Come on, just try. Come with me." Well, after that talk, Chunda felt better and he decided, okay, I'll just try. Maybe they'll let me clean around them. If I can't study, I can be of some help. And so he prepared himself. He washed himself and cleared his mind and went with Raj. And when he applied to the master of the monastery, he had an open heart and an eager presence, and he was really willing to work. And the master saw this, and Chunda was accepted as a monk in the monastery. Oh, he felt really good about that. The next day, his first day as a monk, he went to Ananda, who was the teacher. And Ananda gave him his first 6 lines of recitation to learn. The first 6 lines he had to memorize, in lots of lines he had to memorize. And he worked and worked and worked on memorizing those lines. And he worked with Raj, and others helped him too. But no matter how hard he tried, after weeks and weeks, he could not learn those 6 lines. And he felt very disappointed in himself and very sad. And he went back to the monastery, the master of the monastery, the head, who really was the Buddha. And he said to them, "I don't know what to do. I cannot learn these 6 lines. I have tried and tried. There's no way I can do this." And the Buddha said to him, "Let us think on this. I know you have tried and put your heart into this effort." So they sat there in silence for some time. And after a while, the Buddha said, "Chunda, are you a hard worker?" Oh, yes, said Chunda. I'm a very hard worker. Do you think you can keep this monastery spotlessly clean by sweeping it every day? Oh, yes, I can do that. I can do a very good job at that with all of my heart. Yes, I think you can. Let me give you something. While you sweep, I want you to say 6 words. Remove all dust. Remove all dirt. And remember those words as you speak them. And that will be your job. You will sweep the monastery. And there will be no other job for you. So Chunda felt good about this. He said, I can do this. And so he went right to work. But he could not remember the words. He could not remember just 6 words. Luckily, the teacher Ananda had overheard the conversation, and he reminded Ananda of the words, remove all dirt, remove all dust. And Ananda was there every day to remind him of the words again and again, remove all dirt, remove all dust. And it took some time. Weeks went by, months went by, and finally Ananda could learn the words. He knew them, and he knew them by heart. And he would sweep, as he said, in one direction, remove all dirt with one sweep in one direction, remove all dust with another sweep in another direction. Remove all dirt, remove all dust. And the other monks saw him doing this throughout the monastery with greatest concentration. Remove all dirt, remove all dust. And some felt pride in themselves for how much they were able to memorize, while Chunda could only memorize those 6 lines, 6 words. And months went by of him doing this, and years went by of doing this. And now some of the monks started to have respect for his single-mindedness and his focus and his concentration. And the temple was spotlessly clean. Remove all dirt, remove all dust. And as the years went by, sometimes the monks would see him standing there with his broom and looking out the window, pondering something. And it was not long after that, the times where he was looking, thinking, that he again met with the Buddha, the master of the monastery, the head of the monastery, and he said to him, you know, O Venerable One, I've been thinking on the words that you gave me, and I think they must mean more than to remove the outer dirt and the outer dust. Buddha said, go on. I believe that there is the inner dirt and inner dust, and this is grasping. For if we don't like something, we grasp for something else and hold on to that thought. And if we like something, we grasp for that and we hold on to that, never wanting it to change. And this is suffering. And our work is to remove all of the grasping by clearing and cleaning and removing all the dirt and dust, which is the grasping from our minds. Yes, you have learned well, said the Buddha. You have learned well. And Chunda continued as his work, as the sweeper of the temple, just repeating 6 words. And he did this for years and years and lived a very long life. And he found over time that he had no need to memorize all the scriptures, for learning just arose within him quite naturally. And people came from far and wide to listen to him because he was known as the wise Broom Master. And they loved his lessons and his teachings because they were so simple, yet so very wise. And that is the story of Chunda, the Broom Master. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.